if you look for a teacher to give you power, it means you haven't realized your own power. On the Siddha path, no teacher will ever say that it's because of them. Whatever they give you, whatever blessings silently they give you or empowerment, they will sprout out in you in like 1 day, 1 month, 1 year, 1,000 years. They will lead you to the realization. When you realize your own power, you will say, wow, I realized, but it must be from the blessing. But it's not the blessing itself. They will not take a credit for the teaching, because it's not about the teaching. They're just like a vessel. Because the Siddha consciousness is itself knowledge. So why would a single unit like a body claim that teaching to be theirs? It's absurd. It means they don't understand the reality or realize it, right? So it is the higher consciousness. You connect to that, to cultivate that purity. Your path inside becomes clear. And yes, maybe the teacher is needed in some stages where there can be some guidance from time to time, maybe clarification, but it won't be crutches, continuously walking on crutches. It's just a little support here and there so that you can actually keep on refining yourself. Because who needs your power? It's not a path of vampirism. Magicians take other people's energies. They lure people using all these spiritual truth scriptures just for these people to give them energy. You see, from a conscious standpoint, you're never born, you never die. It's a form. The biggest thing in this world is trust. The biggest thing, trust, because trust equals love. If you can trust or restore trust, at least to one person, you start the healing process. The healing of trauma, narcissism, which is spiritual narcissism. Obviously, everyone wants to be special. Hundreds of people came to me, just approached out of the blue from YouTube or wherever. They saw me to get my approval for the fact that they're special. And they were blown away because they must have not received exactly what they were looking for. Many people probably got hurt, and I upset probably many people in that sense, because they look for validation, not for healing. So you're looking for healing. As long as we're healing, as long as we don't give in into our illusions, we are prolonging our life. So there's no such thing as age, but there is such a thing as draining energy. When you're running around, scattering all over, and one piece of consciousness is with your children, one piece of consciousness with the mother, another with the child, with the husband, the third with neighbors, and so on and so forth. So collect those pieces back and realize that I'm blessed to live as long as I need to accomplish my healing. I don't know what it is to be special. I was healed from this understanding, because there is no one in this world, no one who thinks or who doesn't think that they are special, or who doesn't want. Because from the beginning, we do not get enough love, maybe we're neglected, maybe we have trauma, whatever the case could be. Whatever the case. But through spiritual path, we're healing from this. We realize that what is even the point to be special? Who has to validate you? Who is there? Like, I could not have even imagined that I would reach this point of understanding. Because at some point, I thought that to be on a spiritual path is already to be special. But it was very long ago. But when I reached this point, I feel like there are people, but it's all like scenery, like I'm just living the quality of my own being. Who is there to define me? Who is there to tag? Whether I'm old or young or this or that, what life I have, am I to decide here? Can we really decide? So this is called restoring the trust in the flow. In other words, in God, in other words, in the teaching or in the path, but I'm talking about the truth, which cannot again be defined as unconditional. Only we know it within. The moment we try to describe it, there can be a distortion, because every consciousness will understand this description from their conscious level of development and evolutionary level. So there's always a risk here to be misinterpreted, or this knowledge to be misinterpreted. That's why the true path cannot be even spoken of. That's why it's called emanation. People nowadays they see, oh, Jivanmukti is saying transmission. Okay, let's put transmission. Emanation. Like, everybody just copies everybody. That's why the truth can only be defined by your own soul, when you perceive the vibration beyond words. Because otherwise people can be misled. One and the same thing. Can you define diamond from zircon? From a crystalline? No, you have to be a professional. The same goes with spirituality. You can only say everything of that is false when you are above it and you see the corruption. When you are amongst, you may be confused, you don't know, you can't see. Unfortunately. And when you come to this simplicity, there is nothing much to say. You try to say, to describe, to appeal to people's kind of logical level as well. But if they cannot perceive beyond logic, beyond words, if they cannot, connect to that higher frequency of vibration, all of that is useless. So that's how it is.